This is the most famous candy in the world. It's called Dalgona and is a well-known Korean street food, further popularized by the series Squid Games. To start, we need something to heat our sugar in, and we're going to put exactly 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, keeping our flame super low, we're going to start stirring our sugar, and you can watch as it slowly starts to melt, but it's important you make sure it doesn't burn, so keep it quite far away. So while this gets up to temperature, our plan today is going to be to test the methods we saw in Squid Games to remove the center from our Dalgona, seeing how effective they really are outside of TV. So sugar is nice and liquid. Now we need to grab bicarbonate of soda and put a very small amount in. So that will be more than enough. And we'll start stirring it vigorously away from our flame. So let's pour this out onto our tray lined with sugar. This will help it release later on. And I suggest you put this into some water. Now this has to sit for around 47 seconds to form a skin over the top. Now let's press it down and we should get our shape. And of course, let's place our shape over the top of that. And finally, we're just going to brush off our excess sugar. But look at that. I think it came out great. Our shape is really nice and crisp, and it's relatively symmetrical overall. So obviously, at this point, we could just take a big bite of our Dalgona, since I love honeycomb. But instead, we're going to test the methods that we saw on Squid Games to remove the shape from the center to see if they were true or just TV. So starting off with the shape everyone wants, the circle. So from what I can remember of the series, I think a majority of the people sort of just broke around this one and were relatively okay. So we're going to try and do the same thing. So you can hear it sounds different as you go round. Oh, there. I want to be careful, but we opened... Oh, we did it. 50% of the way. But you could see there was a hairline fracture, which meant it made a slightly duller sound. That was really interesting. Okay. There, it's down there again. I can hear it. Ah! So first one complete. So next up, we've got the triangle. It's hopefully as easy as the circle was. So we should be able to do the same as we did with the circle here. So let's listen for any weak areas. Much duller, but up here sounds more echoey. Oh, did you hear that? We can actually use our needle to put a score in it. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. I feel like we're creating a cheat sheet here for season 2 of the challenge. So make sure you bookmark this video if you're planning on entering that. We've scored it again like that. And hopefully we should just be able to break this in 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. We've got a straight line now across and this should just break off. Oh, look, there we go. We did it again. Right, triangle complete. So next up, we're going to be trying the star. And since we're testing the methods that they used on the show, we're also going to be using a lighter. So what I can remember is a sort of dragging technique where we're sort of pulling along the creases. I'm going to change up the technique from the show and poke lots of little holes and then pull it around, and hopefully that should give us a more effective chance here. I distinctly remember when watching this scene in the show thinking that the guards must be able to smell burnt sugar, and I can absolutely confirm for you now that they definitely would have. This technique is actually working quite well now that we've perforated it. The dots are much easier to connect and you sort of just use it like a saw. Oh, there's only a few more points. Look at that. We are basically done. I think I did it. Oh my gosh. Definitely worked as a concept. And finally, for our most difficult test, we're going to attempt the umbrella. And obviously, since we're testing the methods from the show, the way we're going to have to do this one is lick our way through the back, and we should be able to pop our shape out very carefully. So if I look on the back, we can actually see the shape. So that does make me hopeful that we should be able to do this. Something you didn't see in the show, the texture of this is like sandpaper. It's actually starting to hurt my tongue already. You can see there's a crack there, hairline crack. So now this should break off if I break it. Look at that. It worked exactly like it did in the show. That's crazy. This is the one bit I was really worried about. So that's amazing that that worked so well. This is actually working quite well. This is scary. Fudge. We so nearly did it. Damn it. So that very sadly broke last minute, but the technique was working. I feel if I was slightly more careful at the end, we could have potentially had a successful win there. But unfortunately, that's how it goes sometimes. Comment what we should try next. Very cool.